Yes, and welcome back to another video on the Big Steph channel. And first of all, they got 115 charges for them pussy ole boy. 115 charges for Manchester City. But all jokes aside, we're here after Arsenal's 0-0 draw at the Etihad. Not a bad result, but first of all, I'm here with
Jonathan Sherman
Jonathan.
from Hanlands. Yeah.
Yup, brilliant. No, Jonathan, me and you were talking throughout the game. We were actually
man.
sat next to each other,
Yeah.
and I thought we had a good bit of good conversation. Firstly, tell the people how you felt going into the game and how you feel now with the draw.
So I was very nervous going into this game. I mean, like the last couple seasons that Arsenal played Man City, we got completely wiped.
Yep.
So this year was the first year that we had a legitimate shot at like actually having some parity between the two teams. So I went in very nervous. I was sort of optimistic that we might win, but I was also like very confident that we would at least get a draw, and that's exactly what happened here. I mean, at this point, these two teams are so similar that it was just like you can't look at the possession stats and really
Understand this game, how the game went.
exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
Do you think Arsenal's approach, like you said, the possession stats? I predicted on my channel that I figured City would have majority of the ball. I figured City would want to impose themselves on Arsenal, kind of like the big guys of the league.
Yeah.
But I knew Arsenal were going to stand to the test today. I knew City weren't going to score. Not that I'm not saying knew. I felt City weren't going to score today.
Yeah, totally.
What do you think about Mikel Arteta's approach to this game today?
Oh, that's a great question. So, when you look at the approach, that's why I say you can't really use possession stats because the two teams are so similar that if you look at how they took it, like I was telling you during the game, at one point, Arsenal had a perfect diamond-shaped defensive strategy in the backfield. So you could kind of see that like their entire engagement was really to kind of hold back, see what City was going to do, and then kind of had a containment strategy as much as possible and then use it on the counterattack, which is exactly what they did against Liverpool, which is why they won 3-1. So it's a very similar tactic, and I think actually if I were to say this game shows that Mikel Arteta actually has a lot of maturity as a manager.
I agree.
And also a lot of maturity exactly in the league because it kind of shows that a lot of the criticisms of him at the beginning of the season was that he lacked strategy, he lacked a cohesive kind of,
He doesn't have more than one way of playing football.
Exactly.
Everything was gun ho. I remember everyone said a lot of that.
Exactly, and now you can kind of see that, like, you can clearly see what his strategy is going to be, and he kind of takes those best practices from game to game. So he applied it here, and they got a draw.
I mean, first of all, let's talk about that midfield three and that structure. I thought defensively, like I predicted, I knew that midfield three was going to be defensively very, very solid. For me, I thought the downfall and the one critique I would give Mikel Arteta and his midfield three today would be Jorginho just needed to be a bit more braver on the ball, especially, and allow Odegaard and allow Declan Rice, who I thought had good games, to allow that quality a bit more further up the field instead of so far back. What do you think?
Yeah, no, definitely. So we were talking about this before the game, some of the folks in O'Hanlon's, about how, KSE has really positioned themselves really well business-wise against the league. So they have a lot of cash reserves, and I would imagine the summer transfer market is going to be quite active. This exact hole, I think, is one of the holes that they're going to have to fill, because what they've essentially done is they've brought in Rice, they brought in Odegaard, they've brought in Havertz, they've created such a great, strong attacking, like center attacking mid and center defensive midfield structure that they kind of have like a gap where Jorginho and Partey sit. So I would imagine that's going to be.
I think between Jorginho and Partey, the thing you get with them is that brilliant range of passing. We saw Partey break the lines for that brilliant Odegaard chance with Trossard, and we saw a lot of it with Jorginho, but that dynamism with their legs. I just think they don't have enough legs to play against the top teams, especially like City. We saw now we sit because Liverpool picked up 3 points today. Arsenal are 2 points behind Liverpool in the league table. The league table is not over. We didn't lose today. It's not a bad result, and I hope our fans around the world aren't too depressed about the result. But what do you feel about Arsenal's title challenges going forward during the season?
So if I'm not mistaken, I think that Man City and Liverpool have to go to like Tottenham,
go to Tottenham.
Aston Villa. And I think Liverpool also has to go to Manchester United.
Us as well, though.
Right.
Us
as well. So all of us kind of have the same schedule, right? So like the way I see it is that Liverpool might have 2 points on us today, but like we're all at the same level at this point. Like it really is the Premier League run-in. Like the next 9 weeks, 8-9 weeks is going to determine it. And I don't think any one team has an advantage over the other with the schedule. I think they all have a very comparable schedule.
Do you think though, because us with Bayern Munich and us with that possibility of playing City later down in the Champions League if we get through past Bayern, do you think that fixture congestion that we're probably not used to is gonna probably affect our title challenges?
I mean, it's hard to say because like Liverpool also has fixture congestion. Man City has a lot of fixture congestion, so I don't think so.
The depth of the squad doesn't concern you with Mikel Arteta not wanting to. We saw against Porto, he didn't want to. He only used 3 subs today. To be honest, he brought in a lot of surprising names. Do you think the depth of the squad can take us all the way there?
So this is kind of that time of the season where people really make a name for themselves, and people kind of come out of the woodwork. So I don't really know the answer, but the truth is that somebody is going to come out of the woodwork that we're not expecting who will make a difference. So if we go down the same pathway as last year, it will be maybe because of that lack of depth, and that will be what we'll do in the summer transfer market again. However, if we stay toe-to-toe and maybe we come in second or we come in third with a very small point differential and a large goal differential, I could see it being a situation where other people within the lineup and within our depth squad end up really showing up, and that ends up making the difference.
So if I was to ask you to give us a percentage of a number for Arsenal winning the Premier League title, what would that be?
Well, I think I saw that Sky Sports had us at like 14%.
Wow, that's low. To be honest, that's low. 14% Sky Sports. Get on it. Come on.
I think that I think our chance is probably about 20%. I would say 20 to 25%. I do think that the strength of Man City and Liverpool will end up,
Yes! Tottenham, thank you. That's all right.
But I do think that we do have a strong chance. If it wasn't a 3-legged race,
that's true.
I would say we much have a higher percentage, but I think being a 3-legged race, I would say it was somewhere between 20-30%. Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much. You're with
Jonathan Sherman from O'Hanlon's.
And see you guys on the next episode.
See you guys on the next episode.
Peace.